I'm in a quiet residential area across from Highway 61 by the Menards in Cottage Grove. This area was once a bustling railroad town in the late 1800s. Now a part of Cottage Grove, this town was once known under a different name.
Most people don't know nothing about it or where it is.
Langdon Village was one of many railroad towns that emerged during the early 1870s when the railroad was made. And as a result, we get all these people coming from the rural areas of Cottage Grove, maybe as far as Woodbury and Denmark Township. They come here to get on the rail to go to St. Paul, to go to Hastings and farther. And because of that, businesses popped up around there because that's a convenient place. Everyone's going there, and houses soon followed, and that started the village. If you were to get off the railroad in 1885, you'd step off and you'd see George Woodward's General Store and Dry Goods. You'd see his grain elevator to the left side. You'd also have a hotel, a blacksmith. We had a lot of creameries in Cottage Grove and Langdon and surrounding areas. And with the businesses, you also had local establishments such as a post office and church and a school.
Built in 1918, this school was upscale for its time. Kids went to school with electricity, indoor plumbing, radiator heat, hot lunches made by the girls in domestic science. It was built to hold many students, as the school board thought Langdon would boom. But that never happened. When the Depression hit, most businesses closed because no one had any money. In addition, Highway 61 was built, and trains were no longer the main source of transportation for this railroad town. After that, this railroad town disappeared, except for in the memories of longtime residents who stayed. Today, the area houses a dozen homes, the school, and town hall. While railroad towns were common, there's something unique about Langdon, in that it's still here and hasn't been built over, which attracted a group of individuals looking to dig up some history.
Me and a small group of guys basically look at these old towns and try to dig up the history and the past of them. Mainly collecting bottles, pottery, stoneware, plates, pretty much any artifacts that you'd think from that time period.
It's a old Vicks Vapor Rub.
This is from the Intercontinental Railroad, 1871.
And where Brandon and his team typically dig might surprise you.
There's the edge of the outhouse right there. So what we have here, there's the actual, what they did back in the day, they lined the outhouses with wood so they wouldn't cave in. So
Outhouses are generally going to be the hot spot for the stuff because as they used them, they threw the garbage down the hole, they filled it up, and a lot of times when they were done using them, they threw all their garbage in to take up the void that was left because the dirt that they dug out originally is now gone. So
definitely 1920s.
You could find out a lot about somebody based on what they threw in the outhouse, whether they were sick, if you find a lot of medicines, whether they had children, if you find marbles, dolls, this kind of thing. You also knew if maybe they had a drinking problem, which that's kind of the kinds that we like because a lot of times they're trying to hide it and they would go in there and, especially at church or something, slam a bottle of whiskey and they would throw it in the outhouse and no one would know about it. So.
And while Brandon and his team are digging deep, there's something else going on the surface.
I'm using a metal detector that can reach a coin-sized object, maybe 8 or 10 inches deep, so that's as far as I can go. But I just found another artifact. This is an organ reed. This was a reed from a pump organ.
When I see an old building, especially the old town hall, and I see the date on it, 1881, that really makes me think, where has this place been? Who's been there? And where's it going to be? And I hope that just seeing these can really spark that thought and inspire that idea in people as they look at the old town hall or the old school here.